ESPN The Zone.
Hi, this is Chris Stewart. The quest for a 19th championship starts this fall. Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Who wants coffee? Anybody wants coffee?
Can you get me off the hook? Roll type C.
The tire's tired.
He ain't good looking, but he sure ain't shy. He's a northern bred, southern fed, slick talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Testosterone high today.
Yeah, Tom's a man, he's got the plan, he's really got it made. What a wife he's got, she's smoking hot, check out the junkyard babe. When everything is said and done, no one can beat his show. He's a high-tech redneck, Tony Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. Cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
No problem, just having a heart attack.
Oh, God, will you stop it, please? Welcome to a Reaction Monday in the Doghouse. Just stop this whole thing. Just hit the pause button on this whole football season. I mean, my goodness almighty, it's September 19th. I can't take it anymore. It's just...
No problem, just having a heart attack.
Oh, my Lord. Wild Saturdays, even wilder Sundays. I got so much bumping around my brain. It's all just running together. It'd be so much better if we could just have one topic to dwell on. It's only a 2-hour show. Like, who is the next coach at Auburn? You know what I mean? Or we could just do that. Just do that for the next, 2 hours. Or the crazy App State finish that broke the heart of Grissom grad John Summerall and his Troy Trojans. Goodness gracious almighty. I thought that we would never hear from App State again after, Here we go. They're going to kick the field goal. It'll be Jason Gingell out of the hold of Mesco. Good snap. Good hold. And the kick is blocked. Appalachian State has stunned the college football world. One of the greatest upsets in sports history. So I thought that was it. Thought, okay, we're done with this App State thing. Good God.
We'll see. See how many Troy rushes here. They have everybody back to try to knock one down. 3-man rush. Chase going to step up in the pocket. Sets. Throws high into the air. It's up for grabs. It is juggle. Miracle part 2! It's Miracle part 2! Oh, they did it! Don't give up on this! Oh, my gosh! Don't you do it, baby! Don't you give up on these Mountaineers, baby! Yes, sir! Oh, my gosh! Yes, sir! What a play! Deflected back into the arms of Christian Horde. They storm the field. App State wins on Miracle on the Mountain Part 2. All
right, first of all, you're overdriving the mic a little bit there. I'm just saying, okay? You might be distorting the mic just a little bit there. Secondly, knock the ball down. Stop trying to catch the Hail Marys. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but goodness gracious almighty, you go up and you volleyball spike it. It's the last thing the coach always says, at least he should say. The last thing you say when those guys go out to the field is, look, spike that thing. You go up and you spike that ball down to the ground. No, you go up and you try to catch it so that it can go bouncing up high in the air so that they can catch the ball like they're Billy White Shoes Johnson for the Falcons in 1983 on Monday Night Football and run it in from 10 yards out. I saw that there was another one, and I can't for the life of me remember what game it was. Now, it didn't end up working, but it was the same thing. It was a Hail Mary. Was it Notre Dame? Did Notre Dame have to fight off a Hail Mary? It was some Hail Mary at the end of a game this past weekend. Some Hail Mary, and the guy went up and three guys went up, tried to catch the ball. It bounced up in the air, and it almost was caught. Spike the ball. Volleyball, spike it to the ground. I mean, it's just one thing. I did a whole show on that. How about Tua going all 2nd and 26 on the Ravens in the fourth quarter yesterday? And are they this season's breakout team? How about all those ridiculous comebacks in the NFL yesterday? Don't even get me started on it. The last 2,229 times that a team led by 13 or more points with less than 2 minutes to go in a game, they won the game. 2,229 times teams led by 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes, and they all won the game. Except for Cleveland yesterday. Cleveland put an end to that crap. They're like, we'll show you. And by the way, do you know the last team to blow a 2-touchdown lead with less than 2 minutes to go? It was the Cleveland Browns in 2001 against the Chicago Bears. They led 21-7 with less than 2 minutes to go. The Browns are at either end of that thing. I can't tell you how much I hate them. I hate the Browns. I can't stand the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I hate them. I hate them. I don't know how I'm going to watch the game on Thursday night. I'm going to figure out a way to watch it on my phone or something during the rehearsal dinner. I hate them. I hate them. I don't care if I never see another game ever until Thursday. I hate them. I could talk about Aaron Judge hitting 2 more home runs and being 1 percentage point off the batting league in the AL for the Triple Crown. Or how about Ozzie Albies coming off the IL and getting hurt again? And the Braves and the Mets just keep on winning in that incredible NL East race. Any of those topics is a show, and I have them all in my head today. And we have a wide open first hour for you. If you know what you want to talk about, the phone lines are open at 256-576-4977. You can text the show at 732-9TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. Great way to communicate with us. My Twitter feed is at Tom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show on Twitter and Facebook at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch it on Twitch and YouTube at WZZN TV. Get the apps. You need the apps for the Zone and the Blitz, where you can find links to Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4 as well for all our alternate streaming channels. You need everything. Coming up on Friday night, Buckhorn hosts a really good Gunnersville team in a non-region game. I am out this weekend with the wedding, so Austin Coletti and Drew the Armin will have that one for you on air and primary stream. And yes, if the wedding was normally like a normal wedding on a Saturday, I would actually do the game. But the wedding is actually on Friday night. The wedding starts on like Thursday and lasts till Monday. Daughter's killing me. Madison Academy will be on Zone 2 at Madison County with Steve Moulton and Glenn Laird. And as always, the Woody Anderson Ford North Alabama Scoreboard Show with Scott Tyson will begin on the Blitz at 8:30 and move to the air after the Buckhorn game. We got a wide open first hour for you. Go ahead and get your reactions in. But Bama fan, let's not be breaking down the ULM game. I mean, those guys are a grease fire. And let me say this. If they didn't tell me that was Terry Bowden on the sidelines for the Warhawks, I would have had no idea that was him. If they just shot a picture of the sideline and said, pick out Terry Bowden, I would have had no idea. I would have never believed it. And Michigan fan, I know you're coming. Talk about the Lions win and Aiden Hutchinson's 3 sacks. I don't want to hear about how they dominated UConn for their third straight win over three of the four worst teams in college football, and the other one being ULM. What happened, Michigan? You couldn't get ULM on the schedule? Auburn fan. Anyone want to say that you got to stay the course with Brian Harsin? Anybody? Crawdad, I don't want to hear from you either. Crawdad scored 79 points last week in fantasy. He's got 160 now or something like that. I don't want to hear from you, Crawdad. Wait till Josh Allen has like 50 points tonight. I got half my team going tonight, Crawdad. I don't want to hear you chipping on me, Crawdad. I'm going to get beat by the worst guy in fantasy football. You got to be kidding me. I'm going to get beat by this guy. John has been stressing. Captain Cool's been stressing like a Mohambi all weekend long over beating his mother in fantasy football. He's been like, I just got to get this and then that one. And I'm close. And I got a 53% chance of winning now. Crawdad is beating me 151-72, but I still got Josh Allen. I'm going to lose to Crawdad. Oh, my God. That's a nightmare. Look, Auburn fan, TJ Finley, Robbie Ashford, whatever. Why are so many of you going all in on Deion Sanders as the next coach? I mean, really? Deion is the answer? That's what Auburn needs. Deion Sanders as their head coach. Auburn fan is all over the Twitter sphere. Oh, Deion. We need Deion. Deion. Herm Edwards is available. Why don't you grab him? Stop. At the top of the 11, Joey Blackwell from BamaCentral.com is in for his weekly visit. The Tide prepare for SEC play, sort of, with Vandy in Tuscaloosa on Saturday night. Alabama is a 40-point favorite in that game. Has anyone ever been a 40-point favorite in an SEC game, like SEC against SEC before? Anyone? Has anyone ever been a 40-point favorite in an SEC game? Then Auburn captain, tight end, John Samuel Schenker will join us, courtesy of Valley Equipment Rental. Schenk had just one catch in that game Saturday. He was flagged for a late hit on the out of bounds on an interception. He had as many tackles as he had catches. You know what? If you're not scoring in the red zone, maybe you ought to look to the tight end. That was not him. That was no way that was on him. They called it on 25. He was making a clean tackle along the sideline after the interception, Robbie Ashford's interception. Another dude came in and nailed the guy out of bounds on the sideline, and they called the penalty on Schenk. And then in the official book, it says that the penalty is on Colby Wooden, who wears number 25 for the defense. Look, the call was on Schenker, 25 for the offense, but the late hit was not his. Auburn gave up 6 sacks. They didn't get any. Both quarterbacks threw interceptions. Finley was 11 of 19. Ashford was 10 of 19. Plus, they lost 2 fumbles. So they were -4 in the turnovers. They were -6 in the sack ratio. -10 combined turnover sack ratio. Historically, if you are -2 combined in that stat, if you are -2, this is something everybody always talks about, turnover ratio. We always use turnover ratio and sack ratio because sacks are like almost like turnovers because they're very difficult to recover from. They used to be even worse, but now because you're not allowed to play really defense, you can recover from 2nd and 18 a lot easier. But sack ratio and turnover ratio combined, we would combine that. Defensive coaches, we would combine that, and that number would be a key number for us. And the key number was -2. If you were -2 or more in the combined turnover ratio, sack ratio, you lost 88% of the time. Marv Levy taught me that in 1993. Marv Levy taught me that. You said just track your turnovers and sacks. If you're -2, you lose 88% of the time. The offense couldn't score in the red zone. Defense couldn't do anything. And they're still 57th in recruiting. Back in that little glass booth, playing the platters that matter in the stacks of wax and answering the phones, keeping us on the air, and dreaming of an exorcism for 28-3. It's DJ Grizzly.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
That Tom. Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
They almost did it, Chris. They almost exercised 28-3.
You know, I don't know if it's the city that's cursed. You know, it's probably the city that is cursed. But it is great to be a Braves fan.
They won the World Series last
That's what I'm saying. It's great
cursed.
to be a Braves
soccer. They win soccer. They win baseball.
They won soccer the second
football.
year they were in the league. But
yeah,
you know, it's great to be a Braves fan because it literally the Falcons take every joy. Yes, ever since 2016, I feel like that I've just been in limbo. I've just been in limbo the entire time. I just don't understand as a Falcons fan why they constantly have. I love the fight. I love coming back. That was great. I mean, they absolutely got kicked in the mouth in the first half. So I really love seeing it. You know, it was a couple scary moments, I would say, you know, Marcus Mariota falling down on 4th and inches and, you know, getting it away. So it was, it was not fun to watch because it was just up and down. And I feel like that I'm going to need like a heart transplant or something like that in older ages being a Falcons fan.
So get this. John is 30 points behind his mother.
Yes.
Exactly 30 points back. He's got Jalen Hurts and Tyler Bass going tonight. He's done. She's got Jalen Hurts and Tyler Bass going tonight.
And she's down 30?
And she's down 30
I mean,
with Jalen Hurts and Tyler Bass. She could get there.
I've seen kickers put up 23, 25 points.
He's projected for 25.
Jalen Hurts with 15. No.
Jalen Hurts is projected for 25.
Yeah.
And Tyler Bass is projected for 8.
Okay.
So 25 and 8 is how much?
33.
Win. If that happens, she beats him. God, I'm pulling for her.
I could see it.
I am so pulling for my wife against my son. Is that okay? Does that seem weird?
Yes.
I am so pulling for my wife against my son.
Yeah, anytime like a wife can win, or a girlfriend, or you know anybody in the league that you know they're not technically supposed to win, but it's like their first year or whatever. Any first time winners that can beat people that are experienced, yes.
Crawdad had
that's the point of a fantasy league.
Hill. Crawdad's got Tyreek Hill. He had 42 points. Tyreek Hill with his 190-yard 3-touchdown effort. 42 points. He had Mark Andrews, who had 25 points. His quarterback is Kyler Murray, and he only had 27 points, despite the fact that he was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. He only had 20. Do you know on that 2-point conversion?
Yeah.
It took 20 seconds. They keep showing the clock.
Oh, the Kyler Murray thing?
The Kyler Murray 2-point conversion.
Running around like Tecmo Bowl.
Because, defense, they decide not to put pressure on anybody. We're just going to play in the end zone. I hate it. Anyway, they just let him run around for 20 seconds until he ran it in. What they're not talking about was next-gen stats. He ran 85 yards to get 2 points. They put the ball on the 2-yard line. He ran 85 yards.
That's amazing.
In 20 seconds, he ran around 85 yards to get a 2-point conversion. But you know what? You still, people are like, oh, that's why you pay Kyler Murray $200 million. No, you do not win in January doing that crap. I'm sorry. You're not going to win playoff games doing that crap. That's crap for week 2. That's all like, oh, God, look at him. Ah. That's video game crap. God. You don't win games doing that crap.
You can pay for Matt. You can pay for Matt Ryan and already be down 2 in the hole. To 2 division rivals.
Matt Ryan looks done, doesn't he? Oh my God!
1 touchdown and I think 4 interceptions and a fumble.
All of a sudden looks old as hell.
He's got a better offensive line. He's got a better defense. He's got better weapons.
They suck.
I don't know about better weapons now. but
they're bad. All right. I said we are wide open, so we're wide open, and I want to give these guys room. I cannot believe that Wolverine Dan is not in off of that scintillating 59-0 win over UConn. UConn, not the women's basketball team. This is men's football. Anyway, you guys that are on the line, stay put right there. I'm coming straight to you after this short break. It's the Thom Abraham Show on a Reaction Monday, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Gunner's Landing is one of the Tennessee Valley's finest golf experiences. Just 35 minutes from downtown Huntsville, Gunner's Landing's 18-hole championship jewel is open to the public 7 days a week. Located in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, Gunner's Landing offers you a golf experience like no other. With beautiful Lake Gunnersville views throughout the round, Gunner's Landing is golf the way nature intended. Gunner's Landing's Club Repair Shop offers a full range of services, including re-gripping and adjusting the lofts and lies of your clubs, even putters. Since the work is done in-house, your clubs will be returned to you in a timely manner. Unmatched in the North Alabama area, it is Gunner's Landing. Schedule your tee time today at gunnerslandinggolf.com. That's gunnerslandinggolf.com.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman. Hope to see you soon.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com. This is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, more of the Thom Abraham Show on your home for Crimson Tide Sports 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
This line update from Smoky Lake Honcho is brought to you by BetUS.com. Celebrating their 28th year of NFL action with the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%. It's BetUS, offering their members a chance to cash in on all your favorite sports. Go to BetUS.com. Use the promo code WZZN. That's promo code WZZN, and you'll get a great deal from BetUS.com. Apparently, LSU was a 43.5-point favorite over Arkansas in 19 and 2021. I don't know when this game was. 2019. In 2019, it's hard to believe that Arkansas was that bad. That the year that LSU had a historic team in 2019, they were 43.5-point favorites. Grizz, find the result of that game. 2019 LSU Arkansas game. Did they cover the 43.5? 1996.
Nope. They won 56-20.
56-20. So they did not cover the 43.5. 1996, Florida was a 43-point favorite over Vandy. 1995, Florida was and they won that 28-21. Florida was a 43-point favorite over Vandy and won by 7 in 1996. 1995, Florida was a 43-point favorite. Again, over Vandy, did not cover. They were won 38-7. 1980, Alabama was a 39-point favorite over Vandy. Why is it always Vandy? And Alabama won 41-0, so they covered. 2017, Alabama was a 37-point favorite over Vandy. No, wait a minute. That was Tennessee. Vandy, Tennessee. It's all the same. They were a 37-point favorite over Tennessee and covered 45-7. So this is the fourth largest line in history, SEC against SEC. And in the previous 3, the team is 0-3. So 43, 43.5, and now 40. And they're 0-3. Previous 3. So does Alabama cover the 40? I've never had a 40-point line in Beat the Big Dog or in the Friday Trifecta, but, it's a conference game. Probably, it will definitely be in Beat the Big Dog, and it could be in the Friday Trifecta. Speaking of Beat the Big Dog, Gunnersville Chris, great job by you. You have won because we're both on the Bills tonight, and I have had an awful outing. I am 1-4 so far. I lost on the Chiefs, Mississippi State, Miami, and the Saints. I won on Penn State. The only guy I'm beating is Grizz.
0-5.
0-5, baby. Perfection in
good.
play. Solid.
It's a long season.
So Gunnersville Chris is 3-2. So congratulations. You are going to the Music City Bowl. Grizz, write him down. Gunnersville Chris will start a list for Music City Bowl winners. Gunnersville Chris, good job by you. In the trifecta, most of you got tripped up, and I had like 60 picks in the trifecta this week. I mean, there were a ton of them online. Most of you got tripped up with Mississippi State. I'd say 90% of you had Mississippi State. And if those of you that had LSU had Auburn. So there's only 2 people alive in the Friday trifecta. The Phillip and Jason. Those are the only 2 still standing for the Friday trifecta. The Phillip has the Bills tonight, minus 9.5. Jason has the Titans plus 9.5. So somebody's winning. Somebody's winning the Friday trifecta. All right, let's go to the lines. Speaking of the Phillip, he's first up. Phillip, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great, Tom. Sound effect.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Those there, yeah, crack that one. That Cowboys. Thank you, by the way. The Cowboys beating the Cincinnati Bengals, so that everybody in the AFC North lost. So it took a little sting out of my Cleveland Browns crapping down their leg with 1:30 to go in the game. But good job by Cooper Rush and the Cowboys. And who knows? Maybe the Cowboys can kind of hang around a minute.
Victory, my friend, victory. Maybe this might be what we need, is for everybody to think that we suck to actually finally get it done.
Or maybe the Bengals suck, and they just pulled it out of their rectum last year.
The Bengals were in the Super Bowl last year, my friend.
Yeah, but maybe they actually suck. Maybe they just pulled it out of their rectum. You know what I mean? Maybe they really not very good.
The Dallas Cowboys, a team for which it's been chronicled, for many, many years, the NFL would not exist without, just came out and, showed them who the boss was.
Yeah.
And the Mets showed the Pirates there who the boss is.
Well, it's the Pirates. The Mets have won 4 in a row. The Braves have won 3 in a row, and it still stands at 1 game. I hope it's within 3 when you get to that last series. That'd be fantastic.
Did you catch the New York significance of yesterday?
Mets, Jets, Yankees, and Giants all won on the same day, and I think how long had it been since that happened? It was something like
over 2,000 something days.
Yeah, it had been a minute.
Been a minute. But the Mets did their part. Hey, Braves fans, I ain't saying. I'm just saying you suck, and you're not going to the World Series. It's not going to happen. We are going to kick your ever-living butt. And, you can do your whatever thing you want to do. Stop. You are not the Mets. The Mets are the best team in baseball. Records aside, I don't care, whatever. The Mets are the best team in baseball. The Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas freaking Cowboys.
That's laughable.
Will win the World Series.
World Series?
Will win the Super Bowl. Excuse me.
The Mets aren't even the best team in the city.
I'd love to see some of you do a little bit of research and figure it out.
They're not even the best.
Really do my heart good.
Not even the best team in New York. All right,
Tom, and tonight, when Bills undress the Titans on Monday Night Football, I will be a winner again.
You'll be a winner again. Yeah, it could be a great weekend for the Philip. Thanks, Philip. I appreciate the call. That's a good job.
Hey,
yeah, what?
Tom,
what?
How about you, Cowboy?
How about you, Cowboy? Chubby Ninja says that Terry Bowden looked like the team dentist in that frock that he was wearing on his sideline. He did. Terry Bowden looked like the team dentist. Arizona Jay is up next. Jay, welcome in. How are you?
What's going on, fellas? Not going to beat a dead horse talking about Auburn again, but I will say whatever happens to Harsin, the dude's still going to come out a winner. I mean, he's going to get paid. He's going to walk off into the sunset with a nice bank account. Even that girl involved, she's a chicken dinner and the whole thing, too, because she's paid.
Hey, she might not. What girl? They investigated that. There's no girl. I mean, that was all a rumor. That's just a nasty rumor. You think he'll take her with him to Arizona State? Because apparently his name is being bandied about for Arizona State. That's a good place for him. Arizona State.
At this point, I don't freaking care, and I don't live in Arizona anymore. And I hate ASU. I'm from Tucson. That's Phoenix.
Oh, there you
hell
go.
with them.
Yeah.
But moving on, as far as my fantasy, I got to worry about. I'm winning right now, but I have to worry about the quarterback from the Bills tonight, which is probably going to put up like 80 points. But so I don't know. I made a bad choice.
If he puts up 80, I still might not win my game.
Man, dude, I'm going up against whoever Cortland Smells is tonight. I guess the smelly dude.
Yeah,
but
that's Freddie Kirby.
Okay, I put in the wrong running back because apparently Baltimore doesn't run the ball anymore. You know what I mean? They're just strictly.
They do. They just do it with their quarterback.
Dude, I'm so glad I picked Lamar Jackson because he's saving my butt 2 weeks in a row. I mean, he put up like 48 last night.
Did he really?
Even though there's idiots on Twitter talking about that's why you don't give him the money because he's not clutch. We lost the game because he's not clutch. It's like, dude, you lost the game because the cheetah went into the locker room and got injected with the cheetah juice and came back and put the cheetah on you, and the defense could not stop him to save their life. So, I mean, I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, well, it's like Browns fans that are ripping on Nick or Chubb for scoring that touchdown late, saying, "Well, maybe he shouldn't have scored that touchdown. He should have went down at the 1 yard line." You went up 2 touchdowns with 1:30 to go in the game. Win the football game. You scored 30 points. You're supposed to win the football game. Those guys, Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, they don't play defense. My gosh, ridiculous.
I don't know. You got football fans without any
brain
of reason in it. Yeah, brain.
Yeah,
I think you put it bluntly. It's like I don't know. It's like what are you watching? Even like the people I was talking about on Twitter. It's like I know for a fact you watched that whole game because you were tweeting about it the whole game. What are you talking about? But that goes with a lot of sports. It's not just that game last night. But you know what? It was good to see Tua come back like that. At first I was looking at it like, okay, they're going to really start talking about how much of a bust he is. Even though he's not a bust yet, but you know how people are quick to decisions and people are just real petty these days to do stuff like that. But it was good to see him come through like that.
I wonder what we need a nickname. Thanks for the call, Jay. That's a good job by you. Jalen Waddle, he goes by J-Dub, but we need a nickname for him. If Tyreek Hill is the cheetah, what is Jalen Waddle?
The penguin.
No, he's not the penguin. Just because his name is Waddle and he waddles after he scores, it's one of the great touchdown celebrations ever.
That whole thing with Nick Chubb, though, by the way, that was no different than Todd Gurley a couple years ago when he did that. And then literally the Falcons, with a minute left in the game, lose to the Lions, up 6.
Now, you scored that touchdown. You scored that touchdown, Nick Chubb. You scored that touchdown. And you know what? Maybe you got to kick the extra point, too. I mean, you scored that touchdown every time. And we used to have the greatest kicker in the history of the NFL in Cade York, but apparently not so much. It misses the extra. I mean, don't even get me started.
It was all that good talking that I saw all over Twitter. I mean, I saw so much. It's when the Browns start talking about themselves on Twitter.
They put the graphic up on the screen. They had to put the graphic up during the game when they took the lead, about how it had all the things in 1993 when the Browns were 2-0. Gas was $1.05, and you could buy a loaf of bread for this. And Bill Belichick was the Browns coach, and the best song in America in the movie was this. And they put that stupid ass graphic up, and then Cleveland for the second week in a row can't get their coverage right. And they have a blown coverage. I mean, a totally blown coverage, and they give up a 60-yard touchdown by a 105-year-old quarterback that can't move, that they don't want to rush. They did it at the end of the first half. They got this 900-year-old quarterback that can't get out of his own way, and Cleveland calls timeout on a 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line, and they decide to go into a 3-man rush and drop everybody else into the end zone, and all Joe Flacco does, all he does is he backs up. Jay Flacco with no pressure, instead of heating his ass up, he backs up and he just dumps the ball off to the back who just walks into the end zone because Cleveland's got 8 guys in the end zone. They're all defending the end zone. Rush the freaking guy. Send 6.
I don't understand the 4-man rush when you're...
3-man rush. 3-man rush. They didn't even send a 4-man rush. They said 3-man.
I don't understand how you still give it up. Like, who got lost?
No problem, just having a heart attack.
I just can't.
Joe Flacco.
Just to kill that. If I ever hear that again, I'm going to reach right through this window and break your head. Don't get me started. In all of the NFL, all these comebacks, I know everybody says, oh my gosh, these comebacks. Right. Let me tell you something. This is about crap defense. This is about
12 in the
blown
NFL.
coverages and unbelievable lack of tackling. I'm not talking about just the Browns game. I'm talking about all of them.
Oh, yeah.
The blown coverages. I've never seen so many people running wide open.
Right.
And they're like, oh, Tua, I can't believe he hit that. Oh, Joe Flacco. Oh, my God. It's worse than 7-on-7. It's so easy. The guys are running around wide open. They can't get the coverage right in the NFL. You know why? Because they don't practice football. They stop practicing football. And nobody tackles.
Yep.
The tackling is awful. The coverage is awful. And every single defensive coordinator in the league is awful because they all want to call crap defenses and they all worried about putting 11 guys in the end zone, okay, and not rushing anybody, okay? Don't even get me going. Who's up next? Let me look at this thing. Dale is next. Dale, welcome to the show. How are you?
You'll be all right, brother. Just calm down.
I got to calm down. I almost blacked out a little bit there. I got to calm down.
All right, first of all, I'm going to say it's more like 7-on-3 instead of 7-on-7.
Yeah, right.
And then my next thing I want to tell you is you always got to go with your wife. No, you're going to be sleeping on your son's couch, not your couch, your son's couch.
That's right. I'm pulling for my wife. I'm squeezing for my wife.
Yeah, you got to, cuz. Hey, I'm going to talk about my Auburn Tigers. I know you saying, does anybody want to ride with Brian Harsin? I'm not the one that want to fire a coach, but he just don't fit in, dude. They don't want him there. He might as well just go.
Yeah, it's so inevitable. It's just so inevitable.
Yeah,
what do you do? I mean, it's just, it's going to come. It's happening.
Yeah, I mean, he just don't fit in. And I was watching the game. We was at the beach. I was watching the game. We looked pretty good there for a little bit. And our defense was playing good. And next thing I know is 55-yard touchdown run, this, that, and the other. I'm like, crap.
Well, what was it?
Finley back there. TJ Finley couldn't start for Vandy if he was at Vandy. I don't even know why they got him on the field.
It's a 14-6 game at the halftime. If you can score in the red zone, it's a 14-14 game. I mean, they played it pretty even in the first half. But here's the thing. James Franklin and his staff, they go in and make adjustments, and Auburn comes out not making adjustments. You know what I mean? So who do you blame? You don't blame the guys. You blame the guys with the golf shirts on.
Yep, you got that right. And one other thing I was going to tell you, if I was Joe Burrow, I might go up into the office to demand a trade. They're going to get that dude killed.
He'll never make it 5 games. He won't last 5 games.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's a top-level quarterback. He could be, but
he's already torn his ACL playing for that team.
He's going to get killed.
He reminds me of Bo Nix at Auburn last year. Say hut, turn, and run. I mean, you can't read nothing. You say hut and turn and run backwards, but this has got to be heartbreaking for them. 2 weeks in a row to make a comeback and then get beat.
Well, after watching that Oregon game against against BYU, I'm sitting there thinking that maybe, too bad that Auburn doesn't have a quarterback like that. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. I told my wife,
Zing.
I wish Bo Nix was back down there.
Yeah. Well, maybe with that staff, Yeah,
I don't know.
War Eagle.
War Eagle. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to let somebody else get in here. I know you're running out of time. I'll holler at y'all later.
Appreciate it. Jacob is up next. We're having a Wolverine Dan. He waits. Wolverine Dan is like the best pig in the doghouse.
I had him on.
He usually waits forever.
The switch hasn't been up, so.
No Wolverine Dan. Jacob is next. Jacob, welcome to the show. How are you? Jacob.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. What's going on?
I thought that was going to be Wolverine Dan for a second.
I'm a first-time caller. I was just giving you a call because I heard y'all talking about Auburn earlier.
Let me give you that. I got to give you that too.
War Eagle.
What do you think about Brian Harsin?
I thought he was a terrible hire. from the beginning. I mean, the day he was hired, I said, what the hell are you doing bringing this guy in here? This guy doesn't know anything about the dirty South. He's a born and raised in Boise, Idaho guy. I thought it was an awful hire. I don't dislike the man. I enjoyed listening to him talk. He talks coach speak well and the rhetoric and everything else. But it's been 2 years and they still are at the bottom of the SEC in recruiting. And it's not like his systems are any good. So I just think you're wasting time. And I'm not one to fire coaches. I'm not, this isn't the show where coaches come to get fired. I'm all for giving a coach the benefit of the doubt. This was a terrible hire. And you're wasting time here. You might as well pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's understandable. It's the same thing every game too. It's like he doesn't switch it up or anything, literally.
They get outcoached, they get outmaneuvered. They look good to start games, and you just can't get beat like that by a team that in their conference they should be what you are in your conference. You know what I mean? These are two teams that are just a cut. They should be just a cut below the elites, in the conference, right? And so this is like Penn State and Auburn should be about in the same spot. What would James Franklin do at Auburn? James Franklin will win 10 games every year at Auburn. Every year.
Yeah. Well, all right. I was just calling you. I like your opinions. You're a straight up guy, so I just wanted to hear you on it. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it, Jacob. It's a good job by Jacob. A lot of first timers get in this time of year.
It's good. It's good.
It's time of year for first timers to get in. I've run into a lot of people lately. Oh, I listen to the show. Never call. I don't call, but I listen to the show. I've been getting those texts as well from people. Don't call, but I listen to the show.
First time listener.
Yeah, Bama Chris says, Tom, you're right. Auburn is not a better job than Ole Miss right now. When Tuberville left Oxford, Ole Miss was a terrible job, and Mike DeBose was at Alabama. Kiffin isn't about to take the Auburn job now with the state of the program, and Saban's still at Bama. I said for a while that Auburn should try to hire Stoops from Kentucky, but I'm not sure he would take it. I'm not sure he would either. I'm not sure. And the other problem that they have, they're in a real quandary at Auburn as far as Brian Harsin, because they know, look, he's got to go. He's got to go. But when he does go, what happens is that it reemphasizes this thought that it's the Auburn way. You go to Auburn and they're not loyal to coaches, and Bobby Petrino's situation with Tuberville, and you go back and they blew out Gus, and Gus was bad beating Saban 3 times in 7 years, and they blew him out. So what happens is it justifies what people say about Auburn being a grease fire from the top down. Now they don't have an AD. You got to get an AD first. The AD's going to hire their own coach.
Arizona Jay says it's going to be Rich Rod, or they're going to fight over Nebraska to try to get Urban Liar. He just called.
Urban says
he was just in Nebraska for the game, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to be the coach."
Yeah, he said he's staying put. He said he's not going back to coaching. That's what he said. But Urban,
sure. I had a condition. I got to come back and do it again, all over again.
I don't know where Auburn would go. You would think about guys that fell from grace, that have shown some aptitude as a coach. It's Hugh Freeze. I mean, it's the only place you can even think of as a Hugh Freeze. And is that what you want? Hugh freaking Freeze? You're not going to get Stoops. They're not going to get any Stoopses. No Stoops for them. You try to find the next hot, up-and-coming young guy. Deion Sanders? That's what Auburn fan wants, is Deion Sanders. I don't know, not all Auburn fans. I'm just saying there's a lot of Auburn fans on the Twitter machine saying Deion Sanders.
You got Dale over here throwing out Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen. Let me tell you something. Dan Mullen will win some football games. He'd win some games. At 10:50, Wolverine Dan? All right, we're going to go to break, and we're going to come back with Wolverine Dan, and we'll give you like a couple of minutes, Wolverine Dan, because we're going to run out of time. But I do want to hear your take on the Lions. I do not care to talk about the Wolverines beating UConn women's basketball team 59-0. I know that it's. Talk to me when you start playing some real games. We'll be back. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I need tech that leaves my hands free during my work day and my workout.
It's possible at Staples.
I need tech for my home office that makes it easier to work from home.
Also possible, because your local Staples store has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work, all at great prices. And right now, Apple AirPods Pro are only $199, a savings of $50. Explore what's new right now at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 3/12, limit 2 while supplies last.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN. Freebird is brought to you by TOC Sports. TOC, the Orthopedic Center, the only answer that you need for all of your orthopedic needs. It's TOC. The surgeons are outstanding. They're at TOC. The therapists do a wonderful job. They'll get you right. Sometimes, most times, you don't even need surgery, but they will get you right at TOC. TOC Sports, they got locations all over the valley. And, of course, the outstanding home office down there at the Huntsville Hospital. All right, let's go to the lines. Wolverine Dan is up next. Wolverine Dan, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Real quick, because I don't have much time. I thought radio was free airwaves, freedom of speech.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to waste time talking about the Wolverines beating UConn when you should be talking about how good Jared Goff played and how Caden Hutchinson had 3 sacks against Washington.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'll go there, but I'll piggyback on this game this past weekend next week when we play Maryland and Tua's brother, the Pineapple Chunker. Now, with that said, yeah, I'm telling you right now, that looked really good. I like Goff. I liked it a lot. He was, he's playing like he's supposed to play. And Hutchinson, Tom, I'm making a prediction. Rookie of the year, quite possibly MVP of football.
You sound like the Phillip now. Now, defensive rookie of the year, he definitely has a good chance for that. So weekend or a defensive rookie of the year, he has an outstanding opportunity to be that. But, he didn't do anything last week, but this week he had a great game. So he's got to.
Tom, there's guys like that don't come around like that. Me, Joe Green. Okay, we're talking some bad boys.
Nah, he's more of a JJ. He's more of a JJ Watt, TJ Watt guy. Mean Joe Green was a tackle and played a stuffer game. Yeah, this guy is like JJ Watt.
He's a Pro Bowler. He'll be in a Pro Bowl next year. You watch.
Might be in it this year.
Well, okay, so that's all. I guess we won't talk about the other team, but you know what? I'm very pleased. I like what I see. Bring on Maryland, and then now we can start talking a little bit about the team because you're going to say I'm going to have somewhat of an opponent.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little better. Maryland, I mean, it'll be a little better opponent, at least a little better opponent. But yeah, we'll start learning more about Michigan as they get now into their Big Ten schedule. And you lost your other quarterback, so now you're down to just McCarthy. So
what's wrong with him?
No, he's fine. But I mean, you didn't see what Hayward happened? The other kid got hurt in a game. He's out for a while.
Well,
the kid that started the first game, what was his name? I'm getting drawn. But McNamara's hurt. McNamara's out.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Well, with that said, JJ's there. I'm fine. Corman's great running back. He'll be fine. Anyway,
He'll be fine.
I'll let you go, brother. And,
all right, thanks.
Peace out.
Thanks. Text window. Dan is a racist. Damn it! Why? Because he's a pineapple chucker? Is that a bad thing to say? The kid's from Hawaii. Is pineapple chucker bad? Might be bad. I don't think he's a racist. I don't think Dan is a racist. The kid's from Hawaii. I don't know. Maybe it's not a nice thing to say. I don't know. Big John says, how about Art Briles or his son as the Auburn coach? No, Art Briles is toxic. Kendall Briles, not a bad name to throw around. Kendall Briles, not a bad name. And Brandon went through the drive-thru at Zaxby's, and the two girls in the drive-thru window got in a fight. Took him 15 minutes to get his order, and he didn't even get it for free. Stop fighting in the Zaxby's drive-thru window. Joey Blackwell is next. BamaCentral.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lee.
Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for a 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com or call 1-800-99-BET-US and get into the action.
Coach, how's this year's lineup looking?
It's looking great. We got a lot of MVVs, and they are looking outstanding. Next.
Yes, what about trades?
Ma'am, you know University Kia always gives up to $5,000 of a KBB trade-in value. Right now, get up to $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair market value for any trade at University Kia. New 2022 Kia K5s are just $199 per month. Plus, we want to buy your car. Scan the QR code to see what your car's worth. Only at University Kia.
77 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Thom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect mostly sunshine. High temperature is going to be topping out in the lower 90s for the afternoon. You can expect to stay dry, too. Heading into your Monday night, a partly cloudy sky expected. Low temperature is going to be falling into the mid and upper 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. Guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby.
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
The segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. For all of your automotive needs, it's Woody Anderson Ford. This service department is incredible, man. I'm telling you, you go down there and you check out those new service lanes that they've got there. And a lot of service lanes, you pull into the service lane and they look at you and they write down your information and they can't even give you anything. These people in the service lane understand stuff. I mean, they're not the mechanics, but they kind of like know stuff. And you're gonna, I've had times I've pulled in there and pulled out of there. My vehicle never went to the garage and whatever it was solved right there in the service lane. I mean, they're just amazing. Don't forget the certified gold pre-owns as well at Woody Anderson Ford. They are outstanding. It's like buying new, and the inventory continues to grow. Go to WoodyAndersonFord.com and learn more about that. All right, joining us now, a guy that does a tremendous job for a site that does a tremendous job. Everything that you need to know about Alabama is at BamaCentral.com, and we are joined now by Joey Blackwell, and he is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Joey, welcome in. How are you?
Doing well, Tom. Good to have a clear blue sky, and it seems like fall is finally starting to make its way here.
Starting to. It's going to hang on this week. Summer's going to hang on. I think we're going to get some heat this week, but then it's going to start cooling down a little bit. But certainly for Alabama with SEC play beginning next week, then it makes it feel a little bit more, like fall. Now, having said that, I don't know They don't want to be called Group of Five anymore because they get to go to the playoff. Maybe we should call them mid-major teams. Maybe like we used the basketball term, we'll say mid-major teams. And I know there's been a lot of these mid-major schools that have been beaten up on Power 5 schools and all throughout college football in his first 3 weeks. That wasn't going to happen with ULM. And Alabama did, they did, I don't know how much we learned, but they did what they needed to do, which was take a team like that and just knock them to the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was just a really solid performance. It took the offense a little long for Alabama fans to get warmed up, but outside of that, the defense played really well. Obviously, the headline of the weekend was special teams for the Crimson Tide. Just overall, a really well-rounded performance. And then, obviously, Vanderbilt coming up this weekend will be a great, appetizer for an SEC schedule to kind of get the Alabama warmed up. So it's been a solid 3 games so far, and hopefully we'll get to see some more of that as they open SEC play this weekend.
Isn't that something we're talking about? An SEC game as a warm-up for the rest of the SEC play. But the reality is Alabama is a 40-point favorite. We did find 3 other instances where a team was more than a 40-point favorite or a 40-point favorite or more in an SEC game. And they were LSU against Arkansas in that amazing year that LSU had in 2019, but they did not cover the 43.5 points. Florida was a 43-point favorite over Vanderbilt in 95 and 96, and they didn't cover either one of those. So no team in SEC history has ever covered a 40-point spread. Vanderbilt comes in. It looks like maybe they found their quarterback. Not much else, but it's hard. I'm hard pressed to think that this isn't the first time that an SEC team covers a 40-point spread.
Yeah, it's really hard to do so in the SEC because not only are SEC offenses underrated, but particularly with SEC, you have really strong defenses. And so even when you're playing, a team like Vanderbilt, it still has an SEC defense and is capable of not stopping Alabama every time, but it's able to stop Alabama here and there and potentially take a couple of touchdowns or a couple of field goals off the board. So, I mean, we all know that Alabama's probably going to have a relatively easy time of it this weekend, but at the same time, this is still an SEC team, and a 40-point spread is a little bit wide in my margin. I think we're going in more of the 21 to 28-point range here.
Special teams were amazing. Of course, they block a punt for a touchdown. They get a touchdown return on a punt return, and then they get Kool-Aid McKinstry. I watched the Nick Saban breaking down Branch's punt return for a touchdown, and it for me as an old special teams coordinator, I be still my heart. I mean, I just love listening to it. I mean, it was just so wonderful to hear him break down how they set the wall and what they did, and the coach speak. It was outstanding. But it is, you wonder how much of that is scheme and how much of that is just on special teams. That's where the difference in athletic talent, I think, shows up.
Yeah, and I had the same reaction to watching Saban break down that punt. It just goes to show how much involvement and how much work goes into every single play. I know, as a casual fan, a lot of people might watch and say, "Oh, it's just you set the scheme and then that's it. You call the play and then that's it and let things play out." But there goes every single person has an individual job, and Saban kind of highlighted that in something like a punt return. Obviously did a phenomenal blocking. Louisiana Monroe had kind of had an underwhelming, really not kind of, they had a very underwhelming punt protection plan heading into that game. But Alabama obviously did a stellar job. 262 punt return yards, which is also the U program record. The previous record was against Georgia way back in 1947. So that's a pretty long-standing record. But just all around a really solid special teams day for Alabama.
I think that Terry Bowden must have expected that his team was going to get their teeth kicked in because he looked like a dentist on the sideline. What was that smock he was wearing? If they didn't say that's Terry Bowden, I would have never known that was Terry Bowden. You know what I mean? Walking around with that smock on that he had, like he was going to scoop ice cream out at halftime or something. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and I had a very similar reaction. I don't know what he was thinking, but Terry Bowden's obviously a guy that has a lot of history with Alabama football, not directly with Alabama, but in relation to schools that are around Alabama. So it was good to see him back. I know Alabama fans are very excited to have another knock in the win column against him too.
I was surprised that with the interception, the pick six for Will Anderson was his first ever career touchdown. For some reason I thought, well, a guy like that must have fell on a fumble or had a scoop and score or did something at some point in time, but it was the first time he ever scored a touchdown. And, so that just add that to his highlight reel.
Yeah, listening to him, well, not him, but listening to Henry To'oTo'o talk about, his Anderson's reaction on the sidelines, even after it was over, he was kind of surprised. The ball, of course, was tipped up by a wide receiver, and then, just an easy grab and go. I think it was 25 yards to the house. But when I had to go and look back, because we heard in the booth that it was his first touchdown, and I didn't know if that was accurate, so I had to go back and double check. And I guess he's just a guy that's known for his containment and also his sacks and obviously his pressure of the quarterback. So you'd think that he would have at least knocked a fumble loose here or there and picked it up. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There's no doubt that there's probably going to be a couple of turnovers in his future before all is said and done at Alabama.
Now, it wasn't all perfect. They lined up in an illegal formation to start the game. That's kind of weird that would happen. That's a mental error, no doubt. And Bryce Young does throw a couple of interceptions in the game. His campaign to be, only the second ever two back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners is not really off to such a great start. He doesn't look like that guy right now. He's not like piling up these ridiculous numbers in these early games.
Yeah, we saw that guy against Utah State, but then these past couple of games have really, kind of fallen off. Last week at Texas, he obviously didn't have a stellar game, and like I said at the top of this segment, the offense took a long time to get started up against Louisiana Monroe, and I don't know if this team is going to be able to have, afford that luxury once SEC play starts. They're going to have to be able to get the ball rolling a lot earlier. But that being said, this is still early in the season. There's still a lot of tweaks to be made. We still haven't really seen a lot of deep plays, at least throwing. We've seen a couple of bursts and a couple of runs go for big gains, but as far as passing plays, that's really been non-existent. And that was something that we heard that Bryce Young had worked on a lot in the offseason, but we haven't even really seen that many attempts, much less, actual completions that far down the field. So, once those start, clicking, we'll definitely see those yardage numbers go up. But for now, it is, it's definitely not as impressive as we thought heading into the season.
Yeah, and Jermaine Burton, one catch for 16 yards. Are we at that point now where people could just, okay, this is not the Jameson Williams situation. Burton, it was funny because Jameson Williams came in and he had like 3 catches or something at Ohio State because they had those great wide receivers that they had there at that time. And he came in and really hadn't done that much and blossomed into a first-round draft pick with Alabama. Jermaine Burton was a pretty solid contributor to Georgia last year, and he's nothing right now in this receiving core. It's just amazing. They didn't even look at him. They threw it at him twice, and he had the one catch for 16 yards.
Yeah, I think the running backs are honestly eating up a lot of those, short receptions, which, obviously he's a downfield guy, but he hasn't even been able to catch him 10, 20 yards down the field. So,
right.
Bryce, we heard heading into the season that Burton was, apparently going to be the primary target of Bryce. They connected a lot in practice, but that hasn't been the case. I think a lot of the shuffling around the wide receiver room with the injuries to Tyler Harrell and JoJo Earle have really kind of threw things for a loop as far as who's getting the most targets. I think especially in the deep ball, I think Tyler Harrell was kind of more primed to be that Jameson Williams type guy, with his streaky speed. I thought that he was going to be the guy, to get open way down, deep downfield for those. So maybe that's just taking some adjustments. We have noticed that Bryce, this past week, for example, when Jermaine Burton was open deep downfield, Bryce overthrew him. And I think that, that comes from having, practice with Harrell and, early on before the injury, and that comes from him being used to that Jameson Williams type speed. So hopefully, there will be those adjustments made, but hopefully also in the next several weeks here, we'll start seeing Tyler Harrell and maybe JoJo Earle come back, and that'll really help, with their downfield passing game.
Joey Blackwell with us, Bama Central, talking some Alabama off of their easy win against ULM and Vanderbilt around the corner. Should we glean anything from the fact that Jahmyr Gibbs only had 4 carries in this game? He had 36 yards on his 4 carries, but he only had those 4 carries in the game. Rodell Williams getting the lion's share at 8. I mean, they used everybody. Jace McClellan had 7, I think. And then they had the guys that got in there late in the game. Trey Sanders getting in late in the game, man, I just thought that he would be such a stud by now. And of course, the injuries and the car accident and everything else. But when I look at Gibbs getting 4 carries and then 5 targets in the passing game, he led the way again with receiving with 4 catches. I'm almost starting to think, am I going to start seeing Gibbs in the slot and Roydell Williams in the backfield? And are these guys going to be on the field at the same time? And maybe one's going to take over more of the running, and maybe they need to use Gibbs, more as one of the premier receivers, whether it's out of the backfield or in the slot.
No, I mean, I think that's a correct assessment. I think that, Jahmyr Gibbs has obviously flexed and shown that his ability to catch the football, not just catch the football, but also burst after he makes those receptions. But then on top of that, Jahmyr Gibbs is also the kick returner for a reason. It's because he's able to make those deep catches and streak down the field. So I think moving into the slot, especially with all these wide receiver issues that they've had the past few weeks, wouldn't be a bad call. And Roydell Williams has really proven over these first 3 games that he can be highly dependable. Like you said, he led the team in not just carries, but also rushing yards. He also had one of the 3 rushing touchdowns of the day. But yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs leading in receiving yards once again. I think that moving him possibly to the outside to wide receiver would really benefit them, or at least being able to shift him out to the slot from the backfield. I think that would be highly beneficial if you have a 2-back scenario.
Do they have, what is their, if they want to get in there and pound the ball inside the 5-yard line, it used to be there was always a fullback, they do use an H-back type thing, but what is their heavy set? What is the thing that they're doing the most there when they want to do when they want to use some sort of a heavy set?
Well, I've seen a trend with Jace McClellan when they get inside the 20, but Alabama really hasn't had that many plays inside the red zone so far this year. Most of their touchdowns have come from outside of it. But that being said, when they've gone into it, they typically lean on Jace McClellan for that. Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously has a lot of speed, but as far as a lot of power, he really doesn't function efficiently when it comes to goal line offense. So we've seen that trend with Jace McClellan, but now that Roydell Williams has really picked up things, I think they might shift over to him, especially with Jace, having the injury history. They might want to go a little light on him, at least early on in the season. But so far it's been Jace, and he's, we saw in week 1 against Utah State, he was very effective. So only time will tell if they, continue to use him in that capacity.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. Always a pleasure. Vanderbilt coming up next. I don't think they're going to put up much resistance, but, I don't think that there's much chance that Nick Saban will allow his football team to not take, to take them lightly. There's just been too many upsets in college sports and in the NFL that we've seen, and he could just keep pointing to that and keep these guys focused because we know what's coming down the road. We know those tough games are coming down the road. Although I was the most shocking development of the weekend of everything was the fact that, Arkansas struggling the way they struggled. The fact that Missouri State was able to come in there with Bobby Petrino and lead a big portion of that football game. That was the most stunning development, more so even than Mississippi State getting whacked by LSU and so on.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the more surprising things.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of funny things posted on Reddit about how Bobby Petrino hurt the program with a motorcycle. Why can't he do it with a football team? I think that that was very surprising. That being said, Arkansas is definitely they're not invincible, but they're still a very solid team, and Alabama's going to have a lot on their hands just a couple of weeks from now.
Always appreciate you, man. Great stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom.
All right, we'll get a break. When we come back, John Samuel Schenker will join us, the captain of Auburn, and we'll talk about how they bounce back from a very disappointing loss to Penn State. We'll do that next right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. This Friday, get the latest zone deal, $75 for a round of golf and cart for two to Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
Hey there, folks. Bob Baumhauer here. We're celebrating 40 legendary years here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. And to kick this off, we're coming in hot with our all-new Alabama Hot Chicken. Fresh southern fried chicken breast smothered in a blend of tangy, immune-boosting herbs and spices with a spicy finish. Served up with a side of homemade smoked Gouda cheese grits, Miss Mary southern greens, and garlic bread. And there's plenty more where that came from. Stop in today and celebrate with us. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama A&M University football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com and view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see ya in the Kia. Go Bulldogs!
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? Two Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now, because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
AVIQ. Who
is AVIQ?
AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing, helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect mostly sunshine. High temperatures going to be topping out in the lower 90s for the afternoon. You can expect to stay dry, too. Heading into your Monday night, a partly cloudy sky expected. Low temperature is going to be falling into the mid and upper 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
4 Heisman Trophy winners, 33 Southeastern Conference championships, 18 national championships. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is the Thom Abraham Show with the Auburn Tigers captain, tight end John Samuel Schenker.
Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. John Samuel Schenker. Touchdown, Auburn.
Presented by Valley Equipment Rental.
Yes, it's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
So I got to be honest with you. Segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. All your equipment needs is Valley Equipment Rental. Get the job done like a pro at Valley Equipment Rental. And Ross Robertson, his team, doing a tremendous job making sure that the Valley has what it needs to get the job done. That is for sure. I had half a notion that I was going to get a text yesterday from John Samuel Schenker, and he was going to say, "Listen, I can't do the, I'm not going to do the interview Monday." Not that he's not a stand-up guy, but this is brutal. I mean, having to do one like this after that is tough. So I give him credit. Certainly for, living up to his commitments. And I watched video of him in the locker room after the game talking, and it's just tough, man. But he took it like a man and stood up there and answered the questions, and he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. John Samuel, you want to talk fishing? We could talk fishing if you... Oh, God.
I don't have to talk fishing. We got some work to do, that's for sure.
Yeah. I threw every topwater bait I could Saturday and Sunday morning before the games, and couldn't get a bite to save my life. So, I guess there is that. But, all right. So, look, you're going toe-to-toe with these guys in the first half. They're scoring touchdowns. You're kicking field goals. And in the locker room, though, you must still feel like, we're right there, right? I mean, it got away from you, like slowly just kind of went away in the second half. Explain what was going on in the mindset at halftime.
Yeah, so the first half, that was tail, right? We kicked field goals in the red zone. They scored touchdowns in the red zone. 14-6, it's anybody's game. We get the ball in the second half. There seems to be no problem in the game. The tight end room, we were in the locker room. We were just, relaxed. Like we're good. Like there's nothing, really an issue here. We need to play better, but there's, we're very much in the football game. And we came out in the second half, and the first drive was just atrocious. And we did nothing. Had to punt, backed up. and it just fell apart. It just was not, good in any way. Couldn't execute. We're just not doing what we're called to do, and I think you saw that in the second half, and Penn State came out to play the second half. And that's just the tail of it. I mean, when you play, the way I look at it, we played the same way the first 3 weeks. We turned the ball over. We just didn't execute on offense in all facets. Tight ends, wide receivers, running backs, O-line, quarterbacks. And the competition got better. And obviously when competition gets better, you're going to lose those games, and that's what happened.
The turnovers are key. You mentioned it right there. I mean, there's a stat. In fact, turnovers and sack ratio is a key, and there's a stat that coaches have used for years and years. When you combine the turnover ratio and the stat ratio, and you guys were -4 in the turnovers and -6 in the stats, you can't win those games that way, right? I mean, it's just like if you're -2 in turnovers, it's about 88% that you lose those football games. So is it something to where, how do you tighten that up? You're not getting the takeaways, but that's not your problem. Your problem is that, you guys turning it over offensively. How do you deal with that? I mean, in terms of taking care of the football.
Yeah, that's got to be the only priority this week, in my opinion. Just play clean. Just don't give the opposition a chance to win the football game. And when you don't turn the ball over, you don't have a lot of penalties, you make it very hard for the other team to win because you don't give them momentum in any way. They have to earn everything they get. And I thought Penn State did a good job. Like, we had to earn everything we got, and that's why we keep going with that toward touchdowns. You can't. Even this week against Mizzou, when they come to town, if we turn the ball over twice and they don't turn it over, they're probably going to win the football game. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. You can do that against Mercer, but you can't do that when you get an SEC ball. And that's where we're at. And that's what we have to do is protect the football at all costs. And you can't have these errors, especially in the SEC.
You talk about the lack of scoring, touchdowns in the red zone. It's kind of your territory. You know what I mean? How about look to the tight end a little bit more? I'm just saying, you did have the one catch for first down in the game. You did, by the way, you had the penalty. That's not your penalty. All right. That was a good tackle on the sideline. You're making a tackle after Robbie's interception. 1,000% that's a good tackle. They called you for the unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness. It was whoever it was that came and cleaned up. It was somebody else that came and hammered him while you were tackling him. I thought your tackle was good, but I don't know if you knew this or not. In the actual official stats or in the official recording of the game, they said the penalty was on Colby Wooden because he wears 25 for the defense. And so they totally messed that up. But that should not have been called on you.
Yeah, the refs, for some reason, I don't know if they just don't like me or what, but the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 of the 4 penalties that have been called on me have been false penalties. So, I knew I hit him, but I knew I wasn't out of bounds. I hit him before the whistle.
Right.
And then I felt somebody on my back cleaning clock, and I think it was Robbie Ashford. And then I get on the sideline, I sit down, and I hear 25 for unsportsmanlike. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
No, you started the tackle inbounds. You actually hit him. I backed it up, and I said, who? They're calling that on Shank? You got to be kidding me. So I backed it up, and you start your tackle like, half a foot still in the green grass inbounds. So your tackle's fine. And then you see Robbie come over the top and just, hammer the guy. And I'm like, well, they missed that. And then not only did they miss that, then they put it in the stats as Colby. So it was just all jacked up.
Yeah, it was jacked up, but I was mad, but I knew I didn't do that. I knew that wasn't me, but we just got to clean it up, man. It's just there's a lot to clean up.
Are you a guy, though, that would go to the offensive coaches on the sideline, go to Robbie or TJ, whoever's in there, and say, look, I can beat this guy here, or I think we have this, or are you just going to let it look? They're going to call what they're going to call, whether it's stuff that's called specifically to you or whether you're an option on a route. Is that something you share with these guys at all? Because it seemed like there were opportunities to get the ball to you, which would open up other things that they're trying to do offensively.
Yeah, so normally, I don't want to be another coach out there. That's their responsibility. I'll come off the sideline, and Coach Bedell, our tight ends coach, will ask me what I saw, if there's anything that we could take advantage of, and I'll tell him. But no, I don't get into the OC and all that. That's not my duty. My duty is to play. So, but if I can do anything to help, yes, I'll say it. But no, I don't ever get into the play calling business or try. I don't. It's just not in the game. Especially, I'm just trying to execute the assignments and try to win the game. So I just try to stay away from that side of the game.
I hear that. But, but as a former coach, I know I wouldn't mind hearing from a kid that says that, hey, I think I got this guy beat, or I think that they're biting on this. But it is odd. I mean, look, Kyle Pitts got targeted 3 times by the Falcons yesterday. Kyle Pitts. And, they used like a 4th pick in the first round to pick the guy, and they targeted him 3 times. So it does seem kind of odd sometimes where a tight end will get lost in the game plan a little bit.
Yeah, and that's looking back. Yeah, obviously you want more touches and things like that. Especially when we don't win the game, you can blame a lot. But there was a lot of things going on in the game that it's not always about me getting receptions. Obviously, normally when the tight end touches the ball, it opens up a lot, which is good for an offense. So we'll work on that this week, hopefully, and as long as we win the game. I'd rather have 0 receptions than a win than in a loss. So, but yeah, that I don't let it get to me really. That was how the game went. And if we won, I don't think we'd be super worried about it. But the fact that it was a tough loss, that can arise questions. But I'm just trying to focus on the team at this point, just clean everything up as a whole, even in the tight end room.
Auburn captain John Samuel Schenker with us here talking about Auburn's loss and going forward now into SEC play. Your role as a captain, okay? All right, so you're not a coach, but you are a captain of this team, and you're a 5th-year senior, so you got a lot of young guys on the team. What can you do, or what do you do, to help pick your guys up when you all get back on the field? Do you feel a responsibility vocally to be a part of that in terms of getting these guys ready to go and flushing this game?
Yeah, that's part of my responsibility, but it's also every guy. I can't, as a captain, I can do my best to be vocal at practice and things like that, but I can't make them learn and understand certain things in the game plan. That has to be done on people's own. That has to be a desire for people to want to play a clean game and be smart. And run the right routes and block the right guys. Even in the tight end room, everybody's gonna make mistakes, but the more you can minimize those mistakes in every facet of the game, the more successful we'll be. So that's the big key this week is just playing clean. Just don't try to beat 2 teams at once. Don't try to beat yourself and beat the opposing team. It makes it really hard to win games. Yeah. If we can just worry about beating one team, we'll be a lot more successful.
I like that. I like the way you put that. That makes a lot of sense. You guys don't live in a vacuum. You hear all the chatter, obviously, about your coach and everything else. How do you deal with that? How do you block that out? Because it's not like you never watch TV or listen to a radio show or crack open a website. How do you deal with a lot of that noise that'll go on all week long now? It's going to be all week long until you bury somebody else.
Yeah, that comes with losses. You're going to have that. But I mean, honestly, I deleted social media this morning just to try and focus on what we need to focus on. It's going to be out there, but it's so early in the season. We were 2-1 last year. I mean, obviously the game wasn't as lopsided as this one was, but we started off 2-1 last year. We were 6-2 at one point. I mean, we start SEC play this week, which is really a whole new season for teams. That's when it really matters. So that it can really be a fresh start if we want it to be. If we can mentally put this one behind us and learn and just want to play a clean football game and win the football game. So it can be done easily if we want it to be. But if we let it seep in our minds, then it can beat you twice, and you don't want that to happen.
Yeah. Well, have a good week this week. You can't do anything about it anyway, so all you can do is focus on Mizzou and get that first SEC win of the season and see where it goes from there. But have a good week all week long, and we'll look forward to chatting again next week, hopefully about a win.
Yes, sir. Good talking to you.
All right, man. Thank you. He's a stand-up guy. Stand-up guy. Grizz, I honestly thought, you know what, he may bail on this. He may beg off.
No. He's a good guy, and he's smart. I mean, shutting off social media. I'm sure he's not like a huge social media guy. I mean, he's got a Twitter like all of us, but I mean, like most of us, I should say. But I mean, he shut it down. He talked it over. But I like what he said on. He's not the kind of guy that will. I see what you're saying. As a player reacting to what's going on in the game and telling a coach, hey, I'm beating this guy. There's a difference between like, hey, I'm beating this guy. Why aren't you throwing it to me?
You don't whine about it.
Yeah. You're actually breaking down what's going on. It's like, man, I'm beating this guy off the line. Maybe throw a slant my way. Maybe throw a go right my way. Whatever. But yeah, he's a really good guy. He's a real stand-up guy. Been able to break it down and really just give the player's perspective on, what happens in a loss. Because a lot of times, us as media guys, or you'll hear some media people just ask the dumbest questions to coaches on, why isn't a guy getting, certain touches or plays or whatever. And it's just like, you can tell it's just frustrating the coach even more because, it's just a stupid question to ask because, that's questioning your play calling and, everything like that. And it's just a problem with the locker room.
And that's the thing. You don't question the play calling,
right.
But I want to know that you are that you think that this guy, look, he bites on the inside move. All right. So if we run a little, V out or we want a flag or something like that, I want to hear that from the guys that are out there if they know that. Don't bitch at me. Don't come at me screaming at me or whining at me or whatever. In my case, as a special teams coordinator, we were second or third in the country one year in kickoff return. Had a great returner, and but we had a really good scheme, and we used a lot of counter return, which you almost can't even do anymore in football, any level of football, because you can't do blindside. We used to loop a guy from the second level across, and we would have all the motion going one way. But my returner would come back in, and he would say, "Hey, they are way overcommitting. They're kicking it to the corner and way overcommitting. I think we can snap this one back if we go counter return." Okay. I'm gonna take that information because they're out there. You know what I mean? They're out there. I'm pump block. You know what I mean? I had somebody from the inside, and they'd say that, look, they're leaving a huge gap. If we put two guys in the A gap, I think that we can sneak one through and beat them to the inside. I'm trying to block it from the outside, and then the kid tells me, "Oh my gosh, the guy on the left side is a fish. I can run right over that guy."
Yeah.
I want to know that, you know what I mean? So that I can then make that adjustment and put that in. But I don't want the guy coming to me and saying, geez, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? Don't tell me why don't I do. Tell me what you're observing out there that can help us win. You know what I mean? At that level. I think a guy can do that.
Completely agree with you.
And you got to tell the kids that they can do that. That's the thing, is you got to tell them.
Correct.
Look, don't bitch at me, but they don't. Otherwise, they're liable to keep their mouth shut, and they won't know. When I had linebackers, because when I was a special teams coordinator, I also coached the linebackers and stuff. So if the linebackers would say, look, when they run when they run counter gap, the left guard is on his heels and his hand is barely on the ground because he's pulling. I'm telling you, it's there. If we shoot a guy on that side, I'll make the call, and we need to slant into that with our 3 technique. And I'm getting a little coachy here, but if he says is that, hey, I'm seeing the guard is he's sitting back, because when an offensive guard has to pull, a lot of times they'll kind of their hand will get a little lighter on the ground. Yeah. If their fingers are all white, the fingertips are all white and everything.
Oh yeah.
Then they're leaning forward, they're coming off the ball. But a lot of times you'll see their hands barely touching the ground, and a kid is sitting back a little bit, or he's back in his stance is like just a hair off the ball. Well, that's a tell. There's a tell there that they're going to run a play where he's pulling, let's say, on it. And let's say you've got a 3 technique that is lined up opposite that guard, outside shade of the guard, And what you want to do is you want to have, if the linebacker recognizes it, he could make a call. We just make a pull call. We'd say pull. And that 3 technique would automatically go on a hard charge, down across that guy's face, cut him off, that type of thing. Anyway, my point is that I want feedback from the guys on the field. So if Shanker could say, if he has that ability or right to say, this kid can't cover me. I mean, honestly,
that's like when you give a wide receiver or a skill guy an option route, and it's just like, depending on how the defense is lined up, can you get to the out? Can you get to the slant? Can you get to the drag? I mean, it's just there's always that option.
There's certain guys you can't listen to. Like, can't listen to the receivers.
You
can't listen to the receivers.
Where are they getting the ball? It's like, well,
I mean, you can't listen to the receivers. They think they're beating everybody out there. You can't listen to receivers. You can listen to a tight end. You can listen to an offensive lineman.
Well,
you can listen to a defensive lineman. You can't listen to a DB. You can listen to a safety, but you can't listen to a corner. You know what I mean? There's certain guys that you can't listen to, and you can never listen to a kicker. Never, ever.
And punters can't ever be the player of the game.
Ever, no. And you can never, ever listen to a kicker. No, that's for sure. Anyway. All right.
It's Arthur Smith said the best thing this weekend, and I've heard other coaches say it too because of fantasy football and everything like that. When you're asking about why isn't a player getting enough catches and everything like that, it's not fantasy football. It's not fantasy football. It's a real game out there. The coaches are trying to win the game. They're not trying to get your fantasy football points up. But throw the ball to Kyle Pitts.
All right, if you want to get in, go ahead and call now. We'll have some time at the top of the hour here. 256-576-4977. What did Nick Saban say exactly about the punt return for a touchdown, and why did that make my heart flutter a little bit? I'll tell you next, right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Thom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
I need tech that leaves my hands free during my work day and my workout.
It's possible at Staples. I need tech for my home office that makes it easier to work from home. Also possible. Because your local Staples store has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work, all at great prices. And right now, Apple AirPods Pro are only $199, a savings of $50. Explore what's new right now at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 3/12, limit 2 while supplies last.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman. Hope to see you soon.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN.
The two words we live by. The coach we follow. All right, blow the horn. Let's go. The famous call we love to hear. Touchdown, Alabama! It's good to be a Bama fan. Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide kick off conference play against Vanderbilt. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect mostly sunshine. High temperatures going to be topping out in the lower 90s for the afternoon. You can expect to stay dry, too. Heading into your Monday night, a partly cloudy sky expected. Low temperature is going to be falling into the mid and upper 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Local sports is covered right here.
Well, appreciate what you guys do for sports, but also for high school sports and taking time to talk to us. That means a lot, and appreciate what you guys do, and appreciate you having us on.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
At North Alabama Mortgage, they will get you pre-approved so that you can walk in with your offer on a property and let them know that you're ready to close. It's the quickest way to get your deal done is by being pre-approved, not pre-qualified. Don't let anybody talk to you about being pre-qualified. You need to be pre-approved to get that done, and they can help you along the way of getting that done. Also, refinance right now, lock in a rate, and pull some of that value out of your house. Those home values are definitely staying up there. And you want to go ahead, and this would be a great time to pull some cash out and take care of some other things. You can get that done at NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. You'll learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. And, of course, Brian Hamaker and his team, they do such a tremendous job, and we appreciate them in a big, big way in everything that they do. So, Nick Saban in the CB&S Bank play of the game with Chris Stewart, he broke down the Jordan Battle punt return for a touchdown. Take a listen.
Coach, let's go through our play of the game from CB&S Bank.
Well, I just think we made it the play of the game because people are always interested in punt returns and wall returns and, how we do it. But, we're going to take and bump the center so he goes off this way. We got two guys clamping here, one wall guy. This guy's going to rush and become a wall guy. 7 is going to...
We're bumping the center. That knocks him off of by bumping the center, okay, with the guy that's closest to the center. You can't line up over the center. But by bumping the center, what you're doing is you're sending him automatically off to in this particular case, the punt team's right, because you're going to set the wall to the other side. The guys you're clamping, those are the two guys you're pinning to the inside, the end two guys on the punt team. You're pinning those guys down. That's what he's talking about there. Of course, the wall is, when he's talking about the wall, that's when everybody's peeling back and they're making a wall where the return guy is going to go down the sideline. Most people return to your near sideline, to your own sideline. This one here, they were returning down the ULM sideline.
Drop back and actually do what we call bluff their gunner, to try to get him to come inside.
Gonna bluff the gunner. He's going to bluff the gunner. He's going to fake the gunner out to get the gunner to start running to the inside.
So one of the two of them can pin him, and you'll see how these guys down at the bottom sort of clamp their guy. 26 does a great job. 37 does a great job. We only have one guy forcing the kick. All right, so those guys are stabbing and legging their guys, doing a really...
They're stabbing and legging.
Really good job. So you see the bluff occur. All right, 7 bluffs the guy. All right, then he takes him over, and then 6 becomes the 5x5 guy to start the wall.
The 5x5 guy to start the wall. Oh my God, I get chill bumps. So there's 5 guys in the wall. So it's 5x5.
Right.
And they're 5 yards apart. Okay. So that's why they're 5x5. So there's a guy that's going to line up on each yard line, basically. And he's the 5x5 guy to start the wall. So he's 5, then the next 5, and the next 5, and the next 5. Those are the 5x5 guys to start the wall.
And then you see everybody else has leverage on their guy, and you see the wall develop with the wall guys. And then 14, Brian Branch does a really good job of hitting the crease. Everybody's smart about not
Battle, Branch. I said Jordan Battle and Brian Branch. Got my B's on.
Holding or blocking behind. So, big play. I love punt returns. I was a punt returner when I was in college, so that's kind of my favorite play.
I love that. I love it. Okay? That kind of stuff gets me.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's, it's a science. There's a science behind it. I mean, there's breaking down so much behind it that it's more than you think,
I want to go to a clinic now. Now I want to go to a clinic again. I used to go to so many clinics back in the day. Now I want to go to a clinic and just listen to coach speak.
Yeah. When Tua talked about spacing and where he couldn't see people and you got to get to where he can see you. So if you can't see him, he's got to see you.
That was good.
I was like, duh. I mean, it's so easy to understand that. Get open.
Not for Kyler
Move
Murray.
around.
Not for Kyler Murray, because he couldn't see anybody. He just threw it to the end zone on a touchdown. Did you see me? He threw the ball, and then he looked up at the big screen so that he could see if the guy caught it or not.
Did I throw that?
He had no idea where. He just threw it to a spot along the back line and then watched the play on the big screen to see if the guy caught it.
Do you think he studied that? Do you think he studied that beforehand?
No. You kidding me? That was backyard play. Did you saw him running and he was like waving the guy over?
Yeah.
Okay, you go. You beat a bottle of glass. You beat a piece of glass over there. Just get over there to the back door to Chevy and I'll throw it to you. I hate study anything. Chuck Oliver is after Nick Saban. Nick Saban next, right now on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.